The LA Chargers officially ruled wide receiver Mike Williams out for their playoff game with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a back injury. The injury Williams inexplicably suffered playing in a meaningless Week 18 game against the Denver Broncos. Brandon Staley, bigots. This was completely unacceptable and a very easy first guess on my part. We said don't play Mike Williams, don't play Justin Herbert, don't play Keenan Allen. You needed to keep Keenan Allen and Mike Williams in bubble wrap. This is the best 1-2 punch at wide receiver in the NFL. Look at the bottom. Chargers 4-0. 4-0 when Allen and Williams play a full game together. They were finally healthy, ready to go. We first guessed this last week, and I'm of the opinion you don't paint with a broad brush when it comes to whether or not you play your guys in a final game of the regular season. It all depends upon the team. And for the Chargers, with the bevy of injuries that they've had all year, Brandon Staley couldn't play the starters who had injuries. Couldn't play Mike Williams. Couldn't play Justin Herbert, who had ribs, bad injury early in the year. There was no reason locked into the 5 seed. Oh, by the way, Rashawn Slater hasn't played since week 3. Joey Bosa missed 12 games. Derwin James has been injured. You needed to keep your great players in bubble wrap. We talked about this last week, first guest on Time to Schein. There's a reason why the Denver Broncos were favored, because nobody thought anyone was going to play. We first guessed this. Now, I think Justin Herbert is going to win on Saturday night. And you look at what he's done in his first 3 seasons in his NFL career, historic. Absolutely, positively amazing. I am so thrilled that he is in the postseason because you look at him play, you watch him, I mean, it's dreamy. And one of the reasons why he got one of my votes, I put him 5th on my list for MVP, is because Justin Herbert, and this is a great example, he has to win in spite of his coach. And I still think that Herbert's going to have a monster game. Keenan Allen's going to have a monster game. Austin Eckler's going to have a monster game. But this is not given in terms of a Charger win. And this is on the heels of Brandon Staley screwing up Week 18 last year and not playing for that tie in overtime, which was akin to playing for the playoffs. That's all that matters. And last year, the Chargers could have been the Bengals with Justin Herbert. I mean, this makes no sense. Made no sense last week playing Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a stud, such a big key. Keenan Allen is a great wide receiver, more of a possession type. Mike Williams, who Tom Telesco paid all that money to in the offseason, Mike Williams is the freak. Mike Williams is the difference maker. This is awful. This is why Chargers fans want Brandon Staley fired. This is why Chargers fans want Sean Payton. And if the Chargers lose this game, Brandon Staley's job should be in jeopardy. And frankly, the Chargers should not only win, they should be in position to beat the Chiefs or win a round 2 game. I'm telling you, if I'm a Chargers fan, I am sick to my stomach. And that press conference from Wednesday has pretty much been the norm from John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens this past month regarding Lamar Jackson. So now you have Lamar taking to Twitter last night to give details on his knee injury, calling it a grade 2 PCL strain on the borderline of a grade 3. Lamar said he, simply put, can't give 100%. And Harbaugh was asked about the tweets today. This is officially weird, odd, uncomfortable. It's almost like, stay with me here, Harbaugh's talking about a player who is holding out. And this would be an August conversation. Now, Lamar Jackson has officially been ruled out for the playoff game on a Sunday night, Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. But when I say holding out, I mean, I'm not a doctor, and I believe Lamar when it comes to the severity of the injury, but John Harbaugh did say originally this was going to be week to week. And of course, you factor in the contract, and Lamar's a free agent, and if he wants to make sure he gets franchised, then he's going to make sure that he does not exacerbate the injury. So we could be looking at the true beginning of the end with Jackson in Baltimore. I think they are frustrated. Now, obviously, they can't function without him. And, of course, John Harbaugh can comment on a player's injury. He does it all the time. He's the head coach. He gives details in terms of grade 2 or specifics on an injury, or this is the situation. They have handled this in a very odd way, and the Ravens are the best when it comes to disseminating information. They have an unbelievable public relations staff. The organization is incredible. So this is frankly all with a purpose, and it's all a distraction. And I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and the Bengals, as we've talked about all week, listen, they are just mad at the world. They're mad at the NFL. They're mad at everyone and everything. And, Joe Burrow, not on the first team or the second team, all pro. He's taken everything personally in Michael Jordan fashion. So I think Cincinnati is going to roll. I think Cincinnati is going to dominate. And this, again, feels like the beginning of the end for Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Buckle up, Buttercup. The Buffalo Bills' march to Super Bowl 57 begins Sunday afternoon on CBS. It's Josh Allen's time to shine. And don't get it twisted. The Bills are winning the Super Bowl. And the Bills are not going to overlook Skylar Thompson. The Buffalo Bills have a singular mission: to win the entire thing. Josh Allen is a prolific playoff performer. Remember what he did last year against Kansas City and last year against the New England Patriots? I think he's going to absolutely shred the Miami Dolphins. This is a Bills team that is hot, confident. They're running the ball with authority. They're playing excellent defense. And I think that when you look at their defense, they deserve a ton of credit for how they've played without Von Miller down the stretch of the season. Matt Milano has had an unbelievable year. There is no way Buffalo is going to overlook Skylar Thompson, even though Skylar Thompson is Skylar Thompson. This team, there's been a lot that has happened with the Buffalo Bills on the field, off the field. Right now, as Josh Allen said, it's go time. Score more points than the opposition. It is once again Josh Allen's time to shine. Welcome back, Time to Shine. How about a Football Friday edition of Love or Loathe? Sean McVay returning to the Rams. Love. Look, I think the world of Sean McVay. Now, I am a little surprised. I think all the tea leaves were saying that he was going to call it a career, but I'm thrilled for us that he's back with the Rams, and I'm sure he's looking at it saying, okay, Stafford will be healthy, Donald will be healthy, let's run it back. I also think he looks at the broadcasting landscape and those jobs, the seats that he wants, not necessarily open. And whenever he goes into broadcasting as an analyst, he's going to be sensational. The league is better when the Rams are relevant and Sean McVay is coaching. So I love this as long as McVay's happy, and I'm betting that he is. Staying out west, Derek Carr said goodbye to Raider Nation on social media yesterday, opening the door for a trade away from Vegas. So love or loathe, Derek Carr, New York Jet. Love it. This is the fit. Derek Carr, with the current members of the Jets, he would take the Jets and turn them into a playoff team and one that could win at least a playoff game. Derek Carr, 9 great seasons in the Raiders organization. Epitome of class, dealt with a lot of garbage and nonsense so he could handle all the noise with the Jets in that organization and dealing with New York. And I think it makes too much sense. The Colts reportedly want to go with a young franchise quarterback, which makes sense. Saints could be in the mix. Washington could be in the mix. I think Derek Carr is perfect for the Jets. The Jets are perfect for my guy, Derek Carr. Staying in the AFC, love or loathe, the Patriots searching for a new offensive coordinator. Love. And they sent out a press release. The Patriots never do this. I mean, how they hired Matt Patricia, a failed defensive mind and a failed head coach to run the offense, that was crazy. Bring in Bill O'Brien, or hey, what a concept. Go outside the organization and outside the Belichick tree. Speaking of head coaches, love or loathe the idea that a team should give up a first-round pick for Sean Payton? Love. He's worth it. There will be no bigger transaction this offseason than the trade that sends Sean Payton to his next destination. He goes to the Broncos, you give up a first-round pick, and they have the Niners' first-round pick. I mean, Sean Payton's already a Hall of Famer. Arizona, there's a lot of legs around Arizona. Goes to the Texans, a lot of legs around the Texans. Sean Payton, pay him $20 million. This guy is unbelievable. His attention to detail, his play calling, he is absolutely worth giving up a first-round pick and worth every single penny. Former Stanford head coach David Shaw reportedly interviewed for the Broncos job, and he's eyeing a return to the NFL. So love or loathe, Shaw will succeed in a return to the NFL. I love this. Shaw is a gem, and he's a real NFL guy. He's with the Raiders forever. And listen, I know how it ended in Stanford. That's because of the transfer portal. David Shaw, if the Broncos don't get Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh, he would be next on my list.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.